champion, and he retains his IBF heavyweight title. A little bit earlier, a guy that everybody is talking about in the heavyweight division, Mike Tyson, fought a fella by the name of Alfonso Ratliff. Let's watch.
Listen to me now. Listen to me again, will you, Alfonso? Look at me. Look at me now, damn it. I want to talk to you. Remember what we said. Keep the fight clean, everything will be cool. First guy that messes up, it's going to cost them. Shake hands now, good luck to you.
Incidentally, Barry and Ray, the over-under for this fight, you can't bet on a winner here because Tyson is so heavily favored, is 5 rounds. You can bet on whether the fight will go a full 5 rounds or whether it will go beyond 5 rounds.
And I would think that the smart money is saying that it won't go 5. Round number 1, Ratliff comes out quickly.
You have to see how Ratliff will approach this fight, whether or not he's going to move and stick, try to stay out of harm's reach, or try to exchange punch for punch with Mike Tyson. His best bet is use that jab. Here Ratliff is actually running. He's not actually boxing and moving and utilizing the ring.
That, of course, was the tactic of Mitch Green, one of the 2 fighters who has gone the distance with Mike Tyson.
What happens to a majority of fighters that face Mike Tyson, they are more so on the defensive. Very few fighters are taking the initiative to try to be offensive with Mike Tyson.
Well, Jose Ribalta did it, and did it actually relatively well.
Well, he's one of the few guys that was able to test the chin of Mike Tyson and exchange punch for punch with Mike Tyson. The other guys are more reluctant to stay back and just run, as Ratliff is doing here.
Yeah, so far it's a track meet. A right hand by Tyson, and that stopped Ratliff.
Turn him loose now. What happens, Barry, by moving away, all you're doing is giving Mike Tyson momentum. And when you give Mike Tyson momentum, you ask for problems.
A left and a right behind it, no knockdown, says Davey Pearl. That was a slip.
All right, Mike.
Continues on the bike.
Hold it up, no punching. Hold it up.
Ratliff's fighting this first round, Ray, like a startled fawn.
It's like he's still trying to survive, Barry. He's not boxing at all.
Turn him loose.
And still 30 seconds remain in round number 1.
That Ratliff really wants to fight Greg LeMond because he's on his bike here in the Tour de France.
The jab fall out, but you got to keep moving that jab. But you cut that wing down, you understand? You got him scared, but don't let him get brave, you understand?
Just a little bit.
Don't throw one punch at a time. Put the ring down, cut him down the right way. You understand? You cut him down with your palm a little bit. Cut him down. Put the angle down quick. That's it. You're doing good, sir. All right? So we got to push him in combination. Take a deep breath.
Still on, stay still. Still on, stay still. Move another round. Punch in combination this time. Okay? All right.
Stay in there, Mike. Back up.
I'm wondering whether he's going to be on a 10-speed or a 12-speed in this round.
On his trunks it says Spartan, and I think that was an apt description of his performance in the first round.
Ratliff has been moving a great deal and not doing too much. What he has to do is stop every so often and fire back, throw some punches.
Well, he threw a right hand there, but I'll tell you, he cut out of there right after he threw it.
Well, what happens, Ratliff is anticipating a counterpunch from Mike Tyson.
There was a right hand by Tyson.
What Ratliff can do, because he's so tall and rangy, he can try to catch Mike Tyson reaching in. Like so. That was a good opportunity there.
And there was a left hand, and Ratliff will sit it out. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Ray, it looked like a short left hook. It was a classic punch, and Ratliff doesn't, I don't think he'll get out of this round.
And Tyson right on top of Alfonso Ratliff. Another sign, of course, that you look for is, can the man finish? And Tyson has left little doubt about that so far. Right hand, that should be just about it. Davy Pearl looking very closely. And that's all. It's over.
The bicycle had a flat tire.
And the rider
Flattened by a
fell
left
off.
hook. That, incidentally, is a much more important fight for Tyson than you could imagine, because it qualifies him for a shot at Trevor Berbick for the heavyweight title. Very impressive. Are we on? Let's take a look and see how Tyson very professionally has cornered Ratliff, and then a short left hook. And the reason, again, as I've stated before, his punches are so effective is that he's always moving forward, always looking to hurt the other guy. Now as he moves in to end the fight, Ratliff is hurt. That right hand hurts him some more. It's just a question of letting him fall and get away from the ropes. Left to the body, left to the head, right to the head. Good night. There it is from another angle. A nice fight for Mike Tyson in the sense that he had a big guy trying to run. A lot of guys are going to try to run from him. But as they said about Joe Louis, you can run, but you can't hide.
Well, Alfonso Ratliff won the press conference the other day, and he won the music contest before this fight. He won the dance contest, and he won the stare down. Only one problem. Here's the official decision now from Chuck Hull.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Davy Pearl stops the bout at 1 minute, 41 seconds of the second round. The winner by a TKO and still undefeated, Mike Tyson.
And joining us ringside here is unscathed, unmarked, and undefeated Mike Tyson. And Mike, your man once again tried to run away, but he stopped.
Well, what can I say? First of all, I like to dedicate this fight to a dear friend of mine that passed away recently, Stuart Hilton in Montreal. And this fight is dedicated to him. And besides the point, I figured that he might try that from the press conference from what he was saying. But other than that, I was prepared for it. I was sparring with a gentleman by the name of Mike Williams that was moving extremely fast during the sparring session. And from sparring with him and sparring with Alfonso Ratliff, it's like he was going in slow motion, and I was prepared for it all the way.
One thing I noticed, Mike, in previous fights, you become more and more composed, and you compose very cool in there. What do you credit that to?
I credit a great deal to my trainer, Kevin Rooney. Pressure pressure in a point that you must be a professional, stay relaxed at all times and stay composed. No matter, sometimes you get hit, but you just have to take it. Don't show no emotions at all. And that's what boxing mostly is, it's emotions.
Is it frustrating, Mike, when a guy does run? Mitch Green ran on you a little bit, Ratliff does, and it's likely now you're going to see that a little bit more.
Well, it doesn't work at all because they can't win the fight by running, and I put a lot of pressure on them. And the more they run, I just continue to throw punches. And I'm very elusive, and they're not hitting me, so I'm ahead either way.
What happens now? You're looking to a Trevor Berbick fight, I know, but now there's some conversation that Berbick is supposedly signed with Jerry Cooney. What happens now for you?
Well, I have nothing to say because my managers, I'm sure, I have a great deal of trust in them, and they're going to do the right negotiations. And if it's the point of me fighting for the title, I'm sure I'm going to fight for the title, no matter who it is. But like I say, I'm number one in the WBC, number one in the WBA, so it really doesn't matter. I'm going to fight for the title either way.
Are you confident right now you could beat anybody around?
Most definitely, yeah.
Good win for you tonight. They're all good wins, Mike. Very impressive.
Thank you very much, Barry.
Mike Tyson right now with another one of the principals in the issue at hand. That is the Berbick-Cooney-Tyson trilogy. Here's Larry Merchant. Larry?
All right, Don King, Trevor Berbick is threatening to bolt from the tournament. Your view about that?
Well, first of all, just let me say, only in America, is that I'm excited about HBO having a fantastic show tonight, another sellout for HBO. In regards to Berbick, I think that Berbick is going to fight Tyson in November, and I think we have a rival promoter who has stooped to an all-time low now, trying to induce breach and tampering and tortious interfering with the contract Trevor Berbick have with us. So I really think that the threat is that Bob Arum is trying to make him bribe him.
Don,
to breach.
you're saying that you have a contract with Trevor Berbick to fight Mike Tyson, but that somebody else is offering him, as we understand it, more money to fight Cooney. Can he get out of that contract?
No, he cannot. He has the contract. It has been registered with the WBC, the World Boxing Council, and the chairman, Jose Suleiman. And he has got advances in excess of $100,000 on that fight. $125,000 check in precisely for Mike Tyson, so he knew that he was fighting Mike Tyson. But Trevor's not a bad guy. Trevor is just a guy that listens to a lot of people talking to him, and they're trying to induce him to breach.
All right, if he goes, what will happen? Will the WBC take his title from him? Who would Tyson then fight, and so on?
Well, first of all, I don't think that Trevor is going to leave. I think that Trevor is going to honor his commitment as he's always done. I think it's a very sad time when a promoter doesn't make fights. Now all he does is torpedo fights, and that's what Arum spends all his time doing now. However, if he should decide to bolt, then the WBC would have no choice but to remove recognition from him and go into the next situation. I don't know what that situation will be at this particular time. I'm looking forward to Trevor honoring his contract.
If the title is vacated by the WBC, would Pinklin Thomas, who is the top-ranked heavyweight in the WBC, then be free to fight Tyson for the title?
Pinklin Thomas is the #1 contender in the WBC. After the time when that rule comes, we have to deal with that when it comes with it, but Tyson is ready to go. He's in the series. I think he'd have to fight according to how the series would go, because we are going toward one heavyweight championship on HBO and the World Heavyweight Series, and we're working very hard toward that end.
Thank you very much, Don King. And I should add here that Trevor Berbick, who is in Las Vegas, was asked to appear here to give his side of the story. Earlier tonight I said that sometimes boxing is crazy and weird and nutsy, and this situation could be that. If indeed Trevor Berbick tries to bolt from the tournament, then what we have is a court case and maybe a delay in the tournament and who knows what. I'm not an expert in jurisprudence. About the fight tonight, Michael Spinks did better than some people thought, even though the opposition wasn't all that great. A lot of people in boxing thought we'd see a long, dull Michael Spinks fight, him standing on the outside, not exposing himself to danger and so forth. But somehow, all through his career, Michael Spinks has found a way to surprise us and his opponent. And let's give him credit for what he did. And let's not forget that Stefan Tankstead was indeed, let's be kind, a Norwegian professional fighter, alone in his country as a professional fighter. 4 million people in Norway, 1 out of 4 million.